I just want to make this video just to act as closure on my thoughts on Marvel Comics and Marvel Comics in film. It was one of the most commercially viable and widely popular forms of film entertainment throughout the 2010s. Well, 21st century in general. 2000s it was quite prominent as well, really. Not as prominent, but still. I mean, I was the prime audience of those films in the 2000s. They were pretty huge. Spider-Man trilogy, the X-Men films, Iron Man was released 2008 when I was my last year of primary school. So they've always been around. I was the vague age group to which they were pushing these films to, more or less. I always enjoyed the Marvel Comics mythos. I mean, I was into them via, like, my dad knew these characters, and so he kind of introduced me to some of these people like Iron Man, the Hulk, and the Fantastic Four. I remember exploring the X-Men via those films, which I'd rented from the Video Easy. Plus, there was that great 90s cartoon, which I would watch episodes of. I believe also via renting DVDs at the Video Easy. I followed the what would later be known as the MCU from. I watched all of them as they came out, from Iron Man up until. I think the first one I didn't see was for the Dark World. I watched most of these with my father, actually. He really liked these characters growing up. It was fun to watch them with him, absolutely. Avengers 2012 I thought was an extremely strong film. Up to that point, that was the only Marvel Comics film adaptation that I thought was really worthwhile. Then X-Men Days of Future Past came out, and I thought it was really great, in particular, to have a really strong X-Men film. Because I think that X-Men, along with Silver Surfer, is the best Marvel Comics property, frankly. Um, I've made a video on Avengers 2012 and X-Men Days of Future Past if you'd like to watch those, and unless something else comes along in the future, this would be the last film adaptation of Marvel Comics I discuss. I thought that this was an inferior sequel to the Avengers, but still, it had Joss Whedon's playful touch. The charisma of the cast was palpable. They didn't. Unfortunately, there wasn't enough of a sense of danger in the narrative, because we think about Ultron in the context of the comics, and he's really terrifying. He's willing to exterminate all life on Earth, and he just wants to kind of cause inconveniences for the Avengers, as it comes across in the 2015 Age of Ultron film. It's a bit unfortunate. I wish it were more. I wish that it felt like the film had more stakes. I wasn't a big fan of the Civil War thing they followed this up with the next year. That had a really bad screenplay. It was just too hard to take seriously. The conspiracy plot, the Baron Zemo. Well, he's not Baron Zemo. He's something Zemo. And he's got a plot to frame Winter Soldier for the murder of Black Panther's father. It's really dumb. And then the pretentiousness that was the Infinity Gems duology. I'm not even going to go there. It's just a nadir of popular entertainment in general, frankly. But I kind of liked how they were when Whedon was still at the helm with Age of Ultron. He really didn't want to do this film, as it were, and it kind of comes across, although it's a hell of a lot better than it could have been had he not directed it. I think if this was just the Russo brothers or whomever, could have been even worse, frankly. I don't mind this film. It's fun to have on in the background if I'm not doing much, although I don't consider it a remarkable piece of work. Not as impressive as the first film, not as colourful, not as fluid, not as symmetrical. It retains some of the same charisma, although it doesn't feel as fresh, exciting, or passionate, as we all know. I don't have much else to say. Some nice fluid action sequences. The characters, as they had in the first one, they retain the spirit that they were conjured with in the comic books. And they have this. The kind of Jack Kirby magic seems to be effectively realized within this film at times, as it had in the first film. But hey, it's nothing outstanding, really. It's just. I mean, we all know what to think, don't we? It's been said before. Anyway, Marvel Comics was pretty cool. I really like the idea of Marvel Comics in the 20th century, but in the 21st, both in comics and in other media, film, television, who needs it? I don't. I don't mind it. I don't have a wild hatred for it as some do, although it's kind of annoying that it's around a little bit. Yeah. But what are we gonna do? Hey, have a great day, night, wherever you are. Enjoy yourselves, whatever the case. This franchise made way too much money. I will say that.